All right, in this tutorial, you're going to learn how to create an item in Illuminate's Itembank. So let's say you want to add your own questions, which I think we all do from time to time, or you just can't find maybe don't have enough in the item bank for you yet, and you just want to put a new question in, or you want to make some dynamic questions. You can do all of those. Now, first of all, again, you need to do that in the item bank. Remember, the item bank is part of Illuminate, but it's not the Illuminate that you land on when you sign in. So in order to get to the item bank, you click on assessments, and then you scroll down here, and we're not going to create an assessment, we're going to create an item. So I just want to visit the item bank. Now, in order to create an item, I click on create, and it's going to give me options to create an assessment, quick mode. We want to create an item. By the way, you can get that if you click create an assessment from Illuminate, you can get to this page as well. Now, we're going to start with creating a question. We can select the type. So you can create all of these types of questions. Totally up to you. I'm just going to focus on multiple choice for right now. I can add teacher instructions. I can just add the question. Right, I can type in my question very simply. Once I get to that stage, it's going to ask you to save and continue. Once you save and continue, it will save everything that you do. If you don't press save and continue at this point, and you leave and close your computer or do something else and come back and the window's closed, it won't save. But once you've clicked save and continue, it'll keep track of what you're doing. Now, at this point, I can add my answers. Whoops. Right, these are all pretty standard things. In order to choose your correct answer, you select it. Now, you can put this in a different mode to select multiple correct answers. I'm in traditional selected response, so I can only select one. But if I accidentally selected the wrong answer, I'd have to click off and select. Now again, to change your non-traditional selected response, we can select that. And I could select multiple answers. Everything else works the same, except now I can select more than one correct answer. And I'm just going to stay in this mode because it doesn't really matter if I'm in this mode or another mode for the next part. Now, if I want to get a little bit more dynamic with my question, let's say I want to add a photo or a picture. There's a couple ways we can do this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this icon, upload an image. So if I have a file on my computer, I can upload that, which I'm going to do right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save a photo onto my computer, and then I'm going to upload it. So now let's find a photo of George Washington that I like. I don't want it to be too big. If you don't know about that, this is the size down here. I don't want my item to be too big because I want it to load fairly quickly. So we'll do this one. I'm going to right click and I'm going to save my image. Now let's go back. And I'm going to drag my image into choose file, and you can see my file is there. Title it JW. Click upload. And this is a little helpful hint here. This will enlarge. If I drag this around, it'll enlarge or reduce the size of my question so I can see. And there's George Washington. I can also add photos too if I want to add them down here. It's the same step. So upload an image here. Whoops. And same thing, I can change the size here. Now, another cool thing that you can do is I'm going to get rid of George right here. You can add a video. A couple ways that you could do this. If you just want to add it from, as it says, Vimeo or YouTube, you can go to YouTube. And when you're in YouTube on any video, you can right click, copy the video URL. You can also get the URL up here. Come back to Illuminate, paste it, and it's automatically going to name it. I can change my size here if I want, and then I'm going to insert the video. And again, we can see it here. You're not going to be able to see the video until we get into preview mode, but you see this big yellow box that shows that it's here. So I'm going to get rid of that. When I'm adding a video, if you didn't notice, there are other options that I could upload. If you have a video that you've made, same way as a photo, if it's on your drive, you just pull it in, drag it in, or if you check the choose folder, right, you're just going to walk through your Explorer to find the video. Now, the next option I'm going to show you is, let's say you have something different, something other than a video, or maybe it's a video in a different format. I'm going to show you how to add embedded code, HTML code. I didn't go over the rest of these icons because I think they're self-explanatory. I'm only going over these three dynamic icons. So let's embed HTML code. What HTML code is? It's code in the background of web pages. And lots of things this day will give you the option to add embedded code. For instance, if I'm using Edpuzzle and I've edited a video and made it shorter, just the minute that I want or 2 minutes, what I can do is I can share that by embedding the code. So if I click on my video and my content of Edpuzzle, when I go to assign and share, and I want to share this with anyone, it's going to give me embedded code information. You don't need to know how to do code. All you need to do is read the words embedded code, and then this is the code down here. A lot of websites, will give you options to copy and paste that code. Now, this is the size. If I want to change the size, again, you could do it in the code, but if you can't figure that out or you don't know it, that's totally fine. Just select if you want it big, small, or medium. And then I simply select the box and I copy it. And I come over in here and just put it where the cursor is. If you know a little bit more about code, you can edit it on your own, but just wherever that cursor is flashing right here, just paste it. Now, one thing you should know is inside this code here, you can see my question. So this video will show up after the question. If I wanted it before, you could edit your cursor and put it before, or before you even get to the code, do that in the question. But anyway, just paste it into wherever it gives you. Press update. Oh, I didn't copy my code. So let's do that again. So it still had the HTML code or the YouTube code. So let's try this one more time. Copy. Now, it's got my code from Edpuzzle. And I'm going to leave this here. And again, it's going to seem like you did something wrong. You can't see the video until you preview it. So I'm going to leave that there so we can see it in preview. But if you have this yellow box, you did it correctly. So let's say I'm happy with all of this stuff. Again, just like creating an assessment, you have several steps to go through. You can skip through the steps, but I will tell you one thing that you must do before you get to the publishing mode is you must attach a standard. But let's just walk through each step. And again, press save so everything's saved. Now let's get to details. Now the details, there's a lot of them. So you can attach different DOK levels and different Bloom's taxonomy levels, things like that if you want. You don't have to do any of this. I tend to not do this because I want to get my questions added. You must, however, before you get to publish, add it, connect your question to a standard. I'm just going to connect it to any standard. It's an 8th grade standard. These are standards that I've been working with, which is really nice. So if you're adding a lot of items and you're adding them to one standard, say it was this standard, that's going to show up every single time right now as you go through and add items. So I'm going to select that standard. And if you see that it's linked, that means we're good. If it was a different standard, you'd walk through, pick your standards, California content, walk through all of the steps, find the standards that you're looking for, and you've linked the standard again. Again, you must link it to a standard before you publish it. Before I go on to previewing publishing, I forgot to show you something simple with the question. So let's go back and say, oh, I need to add another distractor, or I want to add something. Now I showed you all these cool bells and whistles. You can just copy and paste if you'd like to copy and paste. If you have a PDF or some other document and, all right, I want this distractor. You can select, Control C. So if you have other tests you're converting to online, Control V, and there you go. You can split your screens and copy and paste. So you can add things in a simple fashion as well. So now my question looks good. I want to preview my question. Again, created question, edit it. We connected it to a standard. I'm going to preview. And now my pink box shows up as my actual video. I can see the correct answer. It shows me who it's created by. It's a non-traditional selected response. I didn't add any more details, so you're not going to see any more details. Now let's go to publish. And again, just like a test, once you publish, you cannot edit it anymore. So once you publish, you can't edit it. So if you're doing a bunch of these or you're not quite sure if you're happy with it, once you've pressed save, right, your item is saved. In the very beginning, we press save. All right, let's go back. Actually, I've added things, so make sure you press save. This will save in the item bank, unpublished. If it's not published, you can't use it on a test, but you can still edit it. But let's go to publish. Once you're finished with the question, if you're happy, if you want to be able to add it to a test, you have to press publish. But remember, you cannot edit it after you publish it. So let's publish it. Gives you another preview, and then you're done. So let me show you how to access, just in case you wanted to edit other things you hadn't published. Let's go back to, let's look at items. All right, items are items you've created. And you can see all these items that I've created here. It tells you what type they are. It tells you, is it published? Yes. This one is not published, so I can edit this. In order to edit, I click on the pencil tool. Now, a good workaround, if you've published and you notice you had a typo or selected the wrong answer or whatever it is, you can duplicate that item, do all the changes you want, come back and delete the original, and then publish the copy. And that's it. That's how you create an item for your assessments. See you next time.